Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Excalibur Data Systems Roundtable Tech Talk. I'm Mike Fuson, and I'm joined by one of my favorite people in the whole world, Mr. Michael Durrant. Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and thank you for that. You are one of my favorite people in the world, so thank you for giving me some time to have a discussion with you.
Yeah, and it's not just because we share the same first name. We've known each other for a year or two, or almost a decade, as the
Yeah,
case may
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I had a lot more hair when I first met Michael, um, and now things have changed. But Michael, you're with Oomnitza now,
Yes.
and have been for a little while yet, and we've had a chance to talk a few times about what you guys are doing. Um,
Mhm.
it's funny because when you first started talking to me about it, I was having trouble wrapping my head around what you did,
Yep, yep.
um, and because it's something new, it doesn't fit the standard boxes that we all know. And of course, Michael and I know each other from our ITSM days. We've kind of both bounced around in the industry, and while NHTSA kind of fits into that general box of helping IT
Hmm.
service management,
Right.
it's not an ITM tool. It's not a this. It's not all these acronyms we've come up with over the years to fit things into. What does it do? It kind of crosses a number of different boundaries. So tell
Yep.
us a little bit more about what Oomnitza is. But one of the first questions that I get asked, because I've talked to a few customers about this already,
Mhm.
how did it get its name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well,
There's
Mike,
got to be a story behind this.
yeah. There's a lot of stories behind it, but I think more importantly is the outcome of the story and what it really means. The origin of this came from the founders, which has some roots back to um, um, like the Ukraine and stuff like that, right? And so, as you can tell, the mitzvah is a different language, so to speak. The meaning of it really comes down to a reference to maybe someone significant in your life, like a daughter or something who's just done excellent in school, like an A student. So it really means you've done something well, right? Which
Interesting.
is kind of fit into what this product is bringing to the market. So yeah, that's kind of the origin of it. You probably hear that in different stories, but I like to more talk about the outcome of what that means because it resonates back to the solution for me. So yeah, hope that helps.
No, it's always interesting, to kind of how did the company get its name?
Right,
Um,
right.
I remember a story about Apple, and Steve Jobs had been interviewed, and of course, the Apple logo has a bite out of it,
Yes.
and he was talking to a reporter, and they happened to be standing next to a big poster of Alan Turing, and he said, "Is it named after Alan Turing?" And Jobs said, "Well, it's not, but wouldn't that be a cool story?"
Yep, yep,
Right?
yep,
Um,
yep. And then
those of us that know the story of Alan Turing, and as the general population knows more about it after the movie with Benedict Cumberbatch
yep,
as
yeah,
Alan Turing, right? And people are a little more familiar with it. It would be cool, but yeah, that's always what's the story behind it? Where did it get? But tell us a little bit about what does Oomnitza do?
yeah. No, no,
How does it fit into the market?
that is really interesting. So if you take Mitzvah from a you know bare bones technology perspective, we're looking at a data aggregation platform, right? That brings your entire technology stack together to deliver key business processes, right? And Mike, as you know, in the industry that you and I worked together in the past, there, these processes that require multiple integrations that are constantly moving, right? So in the old days, you have your spreadsheets, you have intelligent people who knows how to work all of those things. You have all of these system management tools that gives you this rich data, but is the data accurate? And are they delivering those key business processes? And with that, it rolls up to what we are trying to create a quadrant in called enterprise technology management, right? Willing to give you tons of examples around this because why? I've been in this space for a long time. Yeah, maybe not as long as you, but I felt these pain points, you know. I'm probably older than you, but still, I haven't done the experience you have. So coming across a solution of this type is what excited me to come here, because I'm able to deliver business outcomes that I wasn't able to do quite seamlessly before. So that's why I'm looking at this as something different.
Mike, that sounds kind of cool. We're talking about enterprise technology management. And so I know as I started getting into my questions to you, this isn't a discovery tool. That's not what this platform is designed to do.
Right.
It's designed to work with your discovery tools.
Right.
It's designed to work with any systems that are finding your technology.
Yep.
Which is not just limited to discovery tools, because it could be other things that are doing monitoring or other sort of management, pulling that all together. And then you guys have cloud integrations, which we can call that discovery, but it's really pulling data down from the cloud systems, because they've kind of already done the discovery for you. At least you hope they are.
Yep.
Pulling that down together and being able to do some level of deduplication and data normalization of what's there. And then that gives you an idea of what all the stuff is. But what else is Oomnitza doing for us?
Yeah, I mean, when you think of this platform, with all the things you just talked about, you hit on some key points, right? When you think about it, you know, we just went through the pandemic, right? People are moving, you no longer have like a commode, so to speak, you're home, and everybody is migrating to clouds. You might have multiple cloud environments. When you talked about discovery, which doesn't really lend a hand in a lot of those situations. Plus, there's so many of those tools out there that are already doing a best of breed of that work. Why not leverage those type of opportunities to bring this together? So when you think of a tool like Oomnitza that is delivering these key business processes, think of security. Security is running on those endpoints, whether it's in Amazon, it's in Google, it's in Azure. You have to secure that environment. So having visibility on that in one single pane of glass, in a visualization that tells you immediately, hey, you're out of your security compliance with this environment, right? Well, that's very different to manage when you're looking at the data center or your on-premise type system. So the combination of that, having that together, now delivers efficiency around audits. It delivers efficiency around compliance. It delivers efficiency around finance, because now you can understand, what am I spending with AWS? And how does that compare to my transition? And then think of how that rolls up to the experience for the customer, right? When you're able to have clean data deduplicated, presented in a visualization manner, how does that trickle down to your dependencies? Who's using that data? Consumers. So if you're starting at the top where things are clean, bringing it all together in that single pane of glass, you provide efficient outcomes to those business processes, and you could identify gaps within those business quite easily.
So this gives everybody a high-level overview of what Oomnitza is and what it does. Join us again. Mike and I are going to dive into some specific use cases. We're going to dive into, as Mike kind of touched on, you're looking at security, you're looking at, giving yourself an idea of what the interdependencies are, starts to drive a CMDB story, right? Because how do we get a reliable and useful CMDB? Sometimes that's hard to do.
And that's
going to help us. This is going to help us do some of that. And so, Michael and I will be diving into a lot of these use cases and other things. So join us again in a future episode as we continue to peel back, kind of peer through the curtain, peel back the layers that is Oomnitza and the different things that it's able to bring to your organization. Mr. Durrant, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing that intro on what's going to be some additional very exciting discussions.
Mr. Fuson, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to future discussions with you. I'm already super excited. So thank you so much.
It'll be a lot of fun. Feel free to reach out to us, excaliburdata.com. We'd be happy to hook you up with Michael and the team at Oomnitza and show you what an enterprise technology management platform can do for your organization. Join us again soon. We'll see you all on the web. Take care.